You are about to experience what it actually feels like to be truly cared for and loved. Like this person was raised to be a provider. This person was literally raised. It's as if like I can see that this person watched the way that their father treated their mother, or just watched the way that their father like really handled business in the household. And so this person's idea of like what a man is supposed to bring to the home space, or like be like, I'm trying to say bring to the table, but in my mind I'm like, this person literally creates the table. So this person could be very creative, or just when it comes to their work, like they build things, they make things happen. And that is how this person is approaching this connection. You've had it up to here. You're exhausted. You're like, you know what? If it's not this, I don't want it anymore. I don't want anything to do with it. And so the universe is like, okay, let's see how she does with this. Like, let's see if this is enough for her. And it's really interesting because I feel like in the past you've always felt as if like you weren't enough, or like you've been treated by people as if you didn't bring something to the table, or like you were expected to build the table. You might have grown up in an environment where you kind of watched that dynamic play out, where the feminine had to like give so much of herself and sacrifice so much of herself to make love work. That's not what this connection is going to prove to you, that you are finally ready to receive in love. This connection is going to prove to you that you never needed to lose yourself in love to be loved, that you never needed to prove that you were worthy of being loved. I feel like you kind of had that energy in the past with people where it's like, okay, if you weren't doing this or if you weren't doing that, then you weren't receiving the energy and effort. And so when this person comes in, it's going to be quite a shock to the system, because you're like, oh, like I don't have to do so much. Okay. And I feel like you're going to be able to speak your needs to this person, and you are going to be met with reciprocity. Like this, there's mutual connection here, mutual desire, mutual attraction. And the way that you both speak to each other is this, it's as if you are speaking to each other's inner child. So extremely supportive. Like this person is so proud of you, proud of everything that you do. And you also are to this person, like you are like their cheerleader. That video of there being like one sheep like cheering that person on when all the other sheep are busy, like that's what's coming to mind. So I'm going to keep diving into this about what's going to be unfolding for you in love and how this is going to translate into your life. If you'd like to dive deeper into this, comment portal and I will send you the link that gives you access. Members, you already have access. Go check it out. Slow mornings with this person are literally about to become your favorite memory. You and this person are going to be moving in together very soon into the connection. There is something happening within you where you are realizing, you know what? I want my heart to be open. I want to receive this love. Like I am ready for this love, God. And it's like the moment that you have this realization of like, you know what, I know I've been hurt before. I know I've been through it, but there's something in me that is calling me to open my heart to love again, to just allow myself to be free in love. You are about to feel like a child, like at play in this love connection. And this person is coming in to be your protector, to be your provider. The way that this person speaks to you, it's as if they are speaking to your soul. It's as if they're speaking to your heart. I'm also picking up that like you don't need to overexpress yourself with this person. This person is going to be picking up on the very little cues. Like your silence means something to this person. And there's almost this energy of like you don't need, hold on. There's this energy of you don't need to try so hard. Like you don't need to go out of your way for this person. You might be somebody who has always gone out of your way to help people, to provide for people, to give to people. When it comes to this connection, nobody is chasing, nobody is running, nobody is looking elsewhere. It's literally like you only see each other. And so the way that you just move together, like through the home space, the way that you move out in the world together, like it literally feels like you are already married with this person. It feels like there's already that strong current and energy of commitment between the two of you. This is something that you haven't experienced before with anybody, because with other people, you've always kind of felt that energy of like 1 foot in and 1 foot out, not because of you, but because of them. With this person, they are fully present with with you, like fully rooted and grounded in this energy. And you can feel it. Like you will be able to feel it in your body. Your body will be able to relax. Like you will be able to, it just feels like this person gives you the perfect amount of space to continue like growing in your own energy, to continue loving yourself, but they don't let you get too far. Like they keep you close. Like they really honor your rhythm and they create a steady rhythm. Like this person is a leader in the way that they approach this connection. They create a healthy and steady rhythm for the two of you to move together. And it feels like this connection is living and breathing. Like there's just so much room for you to explore one another and become so much more together. So I'm going to continue diving into this soul expansion portal about what you're going to be experiencing, about who you are going to become in all of this, how this is going to translate into your finances. If you feel called to dive in deeper, comment portal and I will send you the details. Dear soul, before you leave, don't let this moment become just another video you watched. I truly believe you were brought here for a reason. If these words have touched your heart, don't ignore what your spirit is feeling. Right now, speak this promise over your life with faith. I am chosen. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. God is fighting for me. My love is protected. My breakthrough is coming. And my story is still being written by his hands. Say it again. Say it until your heart believes what heaven has already declared about you. Let every word wash away your fear, your loneliness, and every lie that told you you were forgotten. Hold on to this promise in the days ahead, because God's timing has never failed, and neither has his love for you. If this message spoke to your soul, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who is hurting, someone who feels unseen, someone who has been silently crying behind a smile. You never know whose life could be changed because you chose to pass on a message of hope. Sometimes God uses one simple share to remind a broken heart that they are still loved, still chosen, and never alone. And if you feel God placing it on your heart to help this mission continue, you can support us through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or whatever you feel led to give, your generosity helps these faith-filled messages reach people who desperately need hope, encouragement, and God's love. I pray that the Lord blesses every seed you sow, opens doors no one can shut, restores everything you've lost, and pours out blessings beyond anything you could imagine. May he answer the prayers you've whispered through tears, strengthen your heart in the waiting, and fill your home with his peace and favor. Thank you for being part of this growing family of faith. Together we are reaching hearts, restoring hope, and reminding the world that God's love never fails. You found this at midnight, and that is not an accident. There is something about midnight that strips away the performance. During the day, there are things to do and people to be, and a version of yourself to maintain for the world around you. There are tasks and responsibilities and the particular social effort of showing up as someone who is managing, who is okay, who has it together enough to function, and you do it well. You probably do it better than most people realize because you've had practice, a lot of practice, at appearing more composed than you feel. But midnight is different. At midnight, the pretense gets too heavy to hold. The house is quiet. The demands have temporarily receded. And what's left in that unguarded space between one day and the next is the truest version of you, the one that is genuinely tired, the one that is still hoping, the one that is lying awake with a mind that won't stop moving because there is so much it needs to work through and the daylight hours don't provide enough privacy to do it honestly. That is where you are right now, and that is exactly why this message found you here. What your body has been trying to tell you. Before we talk about the future, before we get to the part of the story that lifts the weight, something needs to be said about right now. About the present moment and what it has been doing to you, physically as well as emotionally. Stress has a way of migrating. It doesn't stay neatly in the emotional category, in the feelings and thoughts and internal landscape where it originated. It travels. It finds the body and settles there. In the scalp that aches or itches or sheds more than it should. In the throat that feels tight or burning. In the eyes that water at an unexpected moments. In the tension that lives in places you've stopped noticing, because noticing it would mean acknowledging how long you've been carrying it. Your body is telling the story that your words might be minimizing. And what that story says is not that something is permanently wrong with you. It says that you have been under sustained pressure for longer than a human being is designed to sustain it without showing the strain somewhere. The strain is showing, not as weakness, as evidence. Evidence of someone who has been holding too much for too long and has not yet had permission to set it down. This is part of what is coming, permission. The particular relief of external circumstances finally matching the internal effort you've been making. The body softening because the mind can finally actually rest. The dreams that keep you awake. Let's talk about why you can't sleep or why you don't want to. Or why you lie in bed with your eyes closed and your mind wide open, running through future scenarios, possibilities, measuring the distance between where you are and where you want to be, over and over, as though if you just calculate it precisely enough, you'll find the shortcut. You have goals, real ones. Not the vague, socially acceptable kind that people mention in interviews, but the specific, privately held, deeply personal kind that live in the part of you that you don't always show people. The ones that feel too big to say out loud without feeling vulnerable. The ones that have been with you long enough that they've started to feel like either destiny or delusion, and you can't always tell which. And somewhere in the gap between where you are and where those goals live, something has gotten complicated. Something has stiffened. You've been moving. You're not someone who simply gives up, but the movement has been slow and the ground has felt harder than it should. And there have been enough moments of friction and disappointment that a quiet question has started following you around. What if it's not going to happen? That question is the reason you can't sleep, not the goals themselves. They are not the problem. The doubt is the problem. The erosion of certainty that happens when you've been trying for a long time without the kind of visible confirmation that would make continuing feel easier. Here is the confirmation. Your dreams are not too large. They are not beyond you. They are not naive or presumptuous or evidence of someone who doesn't understand how the world works. They are accurate. They are a preview, not of something that might be possible someday, but of something that is already in motion, already on its way, already becoming real in ways that are not yet visible, but are entirely, undeniably actual. Go to sleep tonight with that in your chest instead of the doubt. The signs that are already coming. In the next day or two, you are going to notice something. Blue everywhere and more than usual, or perhaps the usual amount, but suddenly it will catch your eye in a way it hasn't before. Something you pick up without thinking will be blue. An app you open will carry that color prominently. A piece of clothing, an object in a store, a sky, at a particular angle, the color will keep finding you. This is not accidental. Blue is the color of communication, of the throat opening, of things that have been stuck, beginning to move through the channels they were always meant to move through. It is the color of things being said that needed to be said, of messages reaching the people they were intended for, of connection opening up where there was distance before, and curtains. This might sound unusual, but pay attention to curtains in the days ahead, whether in your own home, in someone else's, in a film or a show, or an image that catches your eye. Curtains represent exactly what is happening in your life right now. The opening of a new scene. The previous act is ending. The stage is being reset. And what comes next is different. Not just incrementally better, but fundamentally different in the quality of what it offers and how it feels to live inside it. These are not random symbols. They are the universe leaving breadcrumbs on a path it has already laid. The people who are coming toward you here is something that is about to change in a way that will feel almost disorienting at first. The direction of pursuit is reversing. You have spent a significant amount of your energy going toward things, toward people who required more effort than they returned, toward opportunities that demanded more than they offered, toward a version of your life that you had to chase because it kept moving just slightly faster than you could run. The effort has been real and it has been exhausting, and it has left you with a particular kind of weariness that goes beyond physical tired into something bone deep and chronic. But a portal is opening, and what comes through it is not more demands on your energy. It is people and opportunities and connections coming in the other direction toward you with genuine interest, with real offers, with the specific energy of someone who has seen what you bring to the world and wants to be part of whatever you're building. In career, this looks like doors opening that you didn't knock on. Conversations being initiated from the other side. Recognition arriving before you've fully announced yourself. In love, it looks like being pursued, actually genuinely pursued by someone who doesn't play the ambiguous games that have tired you out before. Who makes it clear? Who shows up? Who goes above and beyond, not because they feel obligated, but because being with you is something they have decided matters deeply to them. In friendship, it looks like community, like the particular rare experience of belonging somewhere without having to earn your place in it daily. The Cinderella story you deserve. There is something in the imagery of midnight and glass slippers and a life transformed that is worth sitting with, not the fairy tale version, which is pretty but shallow, but the actual emotional truth underneath it. Cinderella is a story about someone who was good, genuinely, consistently, without reward or recognition, good. Who maintained her grace and her warmth and her fundamental decency through circumstances that could have easily, understandably made her bitter. Who kept showing up as herself, even when the world around her seemed committed to undervaluing what that selfhood was worth. And then, not as payment for her goodness, not as a trade, but simply as the natural consequence of who she was finally being seen by the right person at the right moment, everything changed. That is the arc of your story right now. The deep realization here is the insight that I want you to carry beyond this reading, the one that changes not just how you see this moment, but how you understand the entire difficult chapter that preceded it. Your character is not separate from your destiny. It is your destiny. The way you show up, the grace, the consideration for others, the instinct to make people feel comfortable and respected, the genuine care that you extend even when you are exhausted. Even when it is not being returned, this is not incidental to what is coming. It is the direct cause of it. You make people feel safe. You make people feel safe, not in a passive, forgettable way, in the specific, memorable, rare way that leaves an impression. People open up around you in ways they don't fully understand. They share things they hadn't planned to share. They feel in your presence like they can be more of themselves. And that quality, that irreplaceable, unteachable capacity to create genuine safety in your presence, is something the universe rewards in kind. Not eventually. Not eventually. Now, the miracles that are forming in your life are not random acts of cosmic generosity. They are the direct and logical response of a universe that has been watching someone of your quality show up consistently and without sufficient recognition for a very long time. The recognition is arriving. When everything simply works, there is going to come a point sooner than you expect where you notice something quieter than a miracle, but more meaningful in its consistency. Things will simply work. The small machinery of daily life that has been grinding and catching and requiring constant attention will begin to run smoothly. Not dramatically, just reliably, the way things are supposed to run. And the cumulative effect of small things working, the refrigerator doing its job, the phone charging without drama, the plans falling into place without the usual friction, the interactions with people going more easily than you anticipated. The cumulative effect of all of that is a quality of life that feels genuinely different, lighter, less like wading through resistance, and more like moving through space that is actually clear. This is what it feels like when the energy shifts. Not all at once. In the texture of ordinary days first, before the larger changes become undeniable. The life that is coming a dream home. Genuine luxury, not the performative kind, but the kind that means your daily environment actually reflects and supports who you are. Fulfillment in work that means something to you and pays you in proportion to what you give. Love that is mutual and clear and does not require constant management or interpretation. Friendships that feel like chosen family rather than convenient proximity. You specifically, particularly, individually, you are going to look back on this midnight moment and remember it as the turning point. Not because reading these words changed your life, but because something in you, in this quiet and unguarded hour, allowed itself to believe again. Allowed the hope that had been dimming under the weight of difficulty and doubt to take in a little more air and burn a little brighter. That belief is not delusion. It is accurate information about what is already on its way to you. The curtain is opening. The color blue is appearing. The portal of communication and connection and love and opportunity is widening. And the life you have been trying so hard to build, the one that has felt just slightly out of reach for longer than seems fair, is closing the distance between itself and you faster than you the know. All you have to do is stay open, stay yourself, and let it arrive. It is coming. You found this at midnight for a reason, and the reason is that the story is changing, starting now.